What's up, YouTube? How y'all doing? Joe Rogan on how weed affects disciplined people. I'm assuming it's just. I mean, let's
Weed thing's a weird one because it just
wait. Hold on. I mean, right? It just makes you tired and like. I don't know about unmotivated. Well, yeah, you just don't want to do nothing, right?
the smoke weed thing's a weird
But I don't think it's about discipline. You know what? Let's
one
just.
because it's
help.
it's
I was
like many
surprised to learn this. I'd be curious what your thoughts are. I'm not a cannabis smoker. I just never really liked it. But I had a guest on my podcast named Paul Conti. He's an MD, mainly works on trauma, incredible trauma therapist, and has written about trauma, wrote the book on trauma that I think is the one in my opinion. And then we got into a discussion about like different substances and do they have application. So we talked about ketamine, et cetera. Asked about alcohol, just by way of comparison. And he said, there are basically zero therapeutic uses for alcohol, right? Therapeutic.
right.
But then I asked about cannabis. Now, this isn't something he does in his own clinic. He does talk therapy, not drug therapy.
Okay.
Although he's a
Talk therapy.
psychiatrist, so he can prescribe things. And he said, cannabis is interesting, and it may actually have some therapeutic potential. But the main effect of cannabis is to narrow attention and focus. It actually can increase attention and focus. Now, the problem is it's not a very good filter, so people can narrowly attend to just video games or just to their anxiety if they're already anxious. That's a problem. But when it comes to psilocybin seems to increase creative thinking, new rules and algorithms about what could be an answer. So I'm not aware of how it might directly impact visual perception unless it narrows focus. But most of the drugs that impact serotonin are going to increase focus to some degree or another. And that can be good if what you're focusing on is pleasant. It can be really bad if what you're focusing on is really unpleasant. I knew people, I'm sure you've known, who just smoke weed and they have a panic attack.
Yeah, the smoke weed thing's a weird one because it's like many things. It's completely dependent upon the individual, like their
Right.
individual genetics, their biology, whatever it is that they've had in their past. I know people that smoke marijuana and they're high functioning, and I know people that smoke marijuana and they don't get anything done. And I don't know if they're related. Those two things are related. I think people who generally
Based on the
have,
individual, I guess.
drive and discipline, marijuana gives them a break. It gives them a nice little rest stop, and I think that's probably beneficial. And I also think it makes you a little kinder, a little more compassionate, a little more sensitive, which is probably very beneficial to someone who's hyper focused. Like people that are like type A personalities and trying to get things done all the time. You smoke a little pot and you're like, what am I doing? Like, let's fucking relax a little. And then you get back to it. You're all right. I think there's a great benefit to that. But I should also say that it's very popular in the jiu-jitsu world.
Oh yeah, I always thought that had something to do with the kind of creativity part of it, like that you can't plan jiu-jitsu.
Right.
You have to improvise.
Yeah,
It's like jazz.
In a lot of ways. There's definitely that, but it's also the focus thing, that you're only thinking about that. Like while you're rolling, you're really only thinking about rolling. While you're smoking cannabis and then rolling, you're hyper focused on it.
And physical strength, you feel fine. You don't feel lethargic or anything.
No,
like
not
that.
at all. I actually enjoy it. I actually enjoy it when I lift weights too.
Oh, I haven't tried that
Yeah,
one.
I feel it. Like I feel it in the fibers. It's almost like I'm more aware of like what's going on instead of like this blunt sort of almost like distance from each individual muscle fiber, which I am normally. Normally, I'm just trying to warm up, and then I warm up, and then I start getting going, and then I, lift light first, and then I work my way up to what I normally use. But when I'm high, it's like I could feel like where it connects to the bone. I feel everything. It just makes you more sensitive about what you're actually doing. And for
Just the
martial
focus.
arts techniques, particularly for striking, I feel like I incorporate leverage better into things. I have better balance in terms of like not trying to execute a technique when I'm off position, and it just makes me just more aware of like what's going on with my body.
Yeah, that
And
focus.
that's super powerful. We had the nerd in me wants to say in neuroscience they call that interoception. Like people vary tremendously in their awareness of their internal state. You can know if you have a high or low degree of interoception by trying to count your heartbeats without taking your pulse. Some people can just do that. It's a skill you can build up over time.
Wait, what?
You can know if you have a
Interoception.
high or low degree of interoception by trying to count your heartbeats without taking your pulse. Some people can just do that. It's a skill you can build up over time. This is great for some people, but some people are highly anxious. It sucks to have
Oh hell no.
a lot of it. Mind-muscle connection as a whatever they call bro science thing. The reality is that from peer-reviewed studies that if people focus on the contraction of a muscle during resistance training as opposed to moving the weight,
It'll grow more.
right, something that's hard to measure if they're actually doing it, the strength and hypertrophy gains are much greater.
Yeah.
I think it's like a 15%. I had Andy Galpin on the podcast.
15 is
and He
wild.
would know the exact number. But I always wonder about this, like in gyms where there are mirrors and people are watching themselves lift in the mirror. I mean, you're exterocepting. You're not focused as much as you could on the actual feeling. So, there's always a weighting between exteroception to the everything beyond the confines of your skin and interoception. And if cannabis allows more interoception, you can imagine that those workouts would be more effective in that way.
But isn't it?
Hey, honestly,
When I
stop.
kicked one of my exes out, gave him a check so he could get a new apartment.
We may watch this actually. I think that we're gonna watch this right after this. But hey, you know what? What I got from that was interoception. Hey, I mean, I already kind of knew. I didn't know that word, so that's cool. But like introspection, is that a word? Introspection. Have some introspect. I think it is, but introception is more. I was doing y'all. It's throwing me off that he's here and he's not supposed to be here. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Do y'all actually? I don't know if y'all. I mean, unless y'all want to be a cop. I mean, technically, it's legal in Cali. I think New York too. So, I guess if you're from those states, do y'all? What's your guys' experience with it? Leave it in the comments. Don't do drugs. Don't do drugs. Even though there can be therapeutic benefits, unless you're prescribed it, because I know it can help with like pain and stuff like that. Focus. I feel like, well, I mean, I guess some people are like high functioning on cannabis, but others are more. I feel like the majority. Again, I don't have the statistics, but mainly though it like slows you down. Like it makes you go like you don't want to. You just want to chill. You know what I mean? But I totally understand that. Get the like interoception, like what Joe was saying about like the muscle, like that focus though, right? Since you're not thinking about all this, is like whatever you're doing, you're just hyper focused on that. So like right when you're lifting weights, you're more mind and muscle connection, which is big. So I know the mind muscle connection. It was just the 15%, and then the interoception. That's what's cool. That's what's cool when like there's a term for something. Like for me personally, learning a term about something that like I already know, but then there's a definite like a term for it. Then it's something. I mean, right? That's the beauty of language. That's I'm not a linguistic. I'm gonna stop because this guy's here and he's not supposed to be here. So I don't know. Let me know in the. Do y'all smoke pot? No, no, I'm just kidding. But what's your guys' perspective on this topic, on what was said? If y'all want to share it, go for it. But that's not. Anyways, okay. Good talk. All right.